To makeup, the tools are important. Now, I'm not going to say that they're not, but there are certain tools that can be used with good technique and you get the same result. And then there's other tools that honestly just make the difference. What's up, my beautiful dreamers, and welcome back to another video with your girl, Shlinda1. Okay guys, so what I want to do in this video, I want to share with you some of my favorite e.l.f. beauty brushes. Since I can remember, I have been a fan of e.l.f. brushes. There are some brushes that e.l.f. has that are my favorites and in my everyday rotation, and I just want to walk you through a few of them that maybe can help you. You don't even know it's out there. Maybe you have the brush and you can't think of other ways to use them. And so in this video, I'm just going to share with you my favorite e.l.f. brushes, because I have a bunch of them. And if I didn't, this video would go way too long. Right now, my favorite brush that you guys all see all the time in every makeup tutorial video is this brush right here. Excuse me, it is slightly dirty because I just used it, but this particular brush here is amazing. It has a pinch feather at the top and it's narrow in size. It's a little dense, but it has a nice fluffy top and super soft. I use this to apply my bronzer. Up, it has a curved top and the bristles round off as it goes up. So it's very tapered. It makes sure that it, you know, there's nothing stark about any of these brushes. It's very gradual as it goes up, which is my favorite part because I use this brush all over my face. When I apply my bronzer, I then go in with the side of this brush to really make sure that I help emphasize my contour area, but I'm also diffusing the product at the same time. So I'm going right in here, going this way. So this round part is really making sure that it's blending that part out. And once I get a nice diffusion of the product, I take the brush from this way and then I go above. And I do it in a circular motion to really help just blend out that area. And I do the same thing all the way around and repeat the same steps on the other side. So it's diffusing and blending and placing. I love this brush. I can't even tell you how much this is. This brush is anywhere between $3 or $6, and I love this brush. This is one of their newest releases. And guys, I love this brush. Out of all the brushes, this is the one I would recommend. One of my favorite. Absolutely love it. Next, favorite brush that I use on I want to show you all the ones that I use on a regular basis would be their blush brush. And it's this one right here. I love it because it's kind of flat on both sides, but once again, it has tapered hairs as it goes up. And it really is really nice to kind of help you put that product without giving you any harsh lines, because the tip is nice and soft. So when you apply it, it really helps you just put it where it needs to be. But being that the hairs are tapered the way they are, it helps you blend it out at the same time, so you never get like a harsh amount of product in one area without being able to blend it away. So I really enjoy this brush for blush, but this brush has multiple uses for me. So I have obviously multiples of this brush. I do use it as a blush brush at times. At times it is an amazing highlighter brush because it's so tapered on the end. It allows you kind of just to put it right where it needs to be. It's also so tapered here that you can apply it right in the middle, right on the tip of your nose. It just has a nice taper here to where it's, you know, it allows you to just have a slight diffusement of the product. I also use this for applying my under eye powder, and it really just allows me to, being that it's so tapered, it allows me to go all the way up to my lash line and really pack the powder in and then be able to kind of swipe it away. The next brush that I have to say I really love sometimes when I apply my corrector is their Flawless Concealer brush. It's a nice fluffy, has more of a dome shape. Once again, most of their brushes, as it tapers to the top, has a tapering effect when it comes to the hairs, which is always good because it allows you to also use it to help blend that product in. And I like it because it has a denseness to it and a softness to it. So it's dense enough to not absorb the product. It's soft enough to help you blend it out. So that's what makes this really good, and I really enjoy this concealer brush. We all know about their powder brushes. This is the silver one, but they also come in black. If you don't know about the e.l.f. powder brush, where have you been? You're not a real makeup enthusiast. Turn in your makeup card immediately. I'm calling the makeup police because this has to go down as one of the best makeup brushes, period. This brush is so soft. It is so soft. This is not, now some people say they use it for foundation, for more of a liquid product. I personally don't like it for that. I think it's amazing for powder foundation. I wouldn't necessarily even say for translucent powders, just because translucent powders are so fluffy. You need more of a fluffier brush for them. This would be a little bit too compact. This is great for a compact powder foundation that you want to make sure the product gets into the brush a little bit, not just sit right on top, but kind of goes in a little bit. And the reason why is because as you're applying it, you really want to make sure it sets in place. So as you're putting it all over your face, you don't just want to put it and it not be able to blend. If it seeps into the hairs a little bit, then it really allows you to kind of apply the product and at the same time make sure that you're left with a flawless finish. Really like this brush. Okay, so the next few brushes are just brushes that I enjoy. It's about two. Let me do these first. This is another brush from their newest collection. Very similar, reminds me of another Real Techniques brush. This is definitely something more that should be used for like a loose translucent powder because it's much fluffier at the top. So this is only going to add a slight amount of product. This is going to add more of a compacted amount of powder. Nice overall finish. It's kind of set whatever is going on your face. This is not going to absorb a lot of product because it's not going to pick up a lot of product because most of the product is going to be on the tips of the hairs. So it's a great product, especially if you're on a budget and you really don't have money for like Sigma brushes, or Morphe brushes are a little inexpensive as well. But for anything like that, this is about a $3 to $6 brush. I don't believe it's over that. Definitely head over to their website to get more information on that. They came out with this brush, and I want to just tell you about it. It's not something I would recommend, but I promised someone that I would tell you guys about this brush. This is one of their newest like contour brushes. They came out with this one originally, and the difference is obviously this one is flatter, so this will go directly into your the hollows of your cheeks, but this really doesn't do good as far as diffusing the product. It will help you put it if you want more of a chiseled look, you want more of a defined look. This would be great. You want to put the product where you put it and probably do a small amount of shearing it out, but you're still going to have very harsh lines. Well, this is the same exact thing, but instead of going this way, you kind of want to go this way, which I'm not a fan of because I feel like even though you would put the product here, it would make too much of a harshness there, and this tip going way up onto the tip of your cheekbone, it's going to make a harshness there. So I'm not a huge fan of this brush. I just feel like it really does not help. Now, if you apply it if you want to and then go in with another brush, of course you can do that. But I'm just not a huge fan of this brush. I think the idea was cute, but I don't think it's very practical. Of course, we have all seen their complexion brushes. Once again, like I told you, they did come out with the same brushes in silver or platinum barrels. But this is a great brush. This is another brush that you would use for maybe like a translucent powder. I personally have not used it for that. The only time I would use this brush is if I want to kind of blend something out. So if I go a little too harsh on like my blush, I would go in with this because it's kind of light and fluffy. It's not going to pick up the product off my face, and with proper application or proper technique, you can really just diffuse stuff on your face. So I would use this if your bronze is a little heavy, you want to make sure that the transitions are good, there's no harsh lines. I would use this brush. The next few brushes are like technique brushes. Their crease brush I live for. Look, they have another brush that I really enjoy too to go into the crease. It's really nice. I don't know where it is, but this is the crease brush, and I really like it because it's really precision and it will get right in that crease. Once again, it's tapered as it goes up, so you want to make sure the product goes right on the tip so that as it applies, the surrounding amount of the brush is diffusing the product at the same time, so you have a nice depth of product and it's still diffusing and blending it out at the same time. Very like a precision brush. This is not a blending brush. This is not something you want to go in and try to use. It would just take too much time. This is definitely a crease brush. Really enjoy it. It's also small enough so if you wanted to do lower lash work with it, you could, but this would be more for like if you want to do a large amount of an area, something very light. You know, I probably wouldn't go in and do anything like small precision work underneath the eye. It can get really muddy with that. This is something that you can just put a flush of color if you're just doing one color, something like that underneath. I like this a lot. The next brush I really do enjoy is their concealer brush, and what I like about it is that it is super duper flat. It is ridiculously flat, and I personally use it as a brow defining brush. Like if I want to apply concealer up in there, it really is so flat. I mean, it's so flat, the tip, that it is great to get right up there. I use this on a regular basis. The last brush is one of my favorites. I use it pretty much every day, and I believe that this is just a domed eyeshadow brush, but I love this brush for applying my brow highlight right up in here. It's so perfect. It fits right there, but it's tapered again, and it's tapered on the sides, and it still comes to a fairly really good small tip so that it can get right up in there, but I can still diffuse the product and really shear it out and blend it out really nicely. So I'm a big fan of this brush. That's pretty much the brushes that I'm absolutely loving for e.l.f. and some other ones that are honorable mentions. They have come out with all types of stuff. They have the Ultimate Kabuki brush here, which I used to use but wound up being a little bit too harsh for what I was looking for. But guys, if you're looking for some brushes, please do not count out e.l.f. This was not a sponsored video. They have nothing to do with it. This is my collection of their products because they always send them to me, and I really just enjoy e.l.f. brushes. Way before I started making videos, I had e.l.f. brushes. So if you're in the market for some brushes, or if you're in CVS or Walgreens, I think it's CVS, I believe it's CVS, they have a kiosk of brushes. So definitely check them out. You know, for brushes that you can use on a regular basis, you can always use an extra crease brush. So little things like that. But if I had to recommend anything, definitely get this brush. I love this brush. The tapered one, it really is just amazing. I haven't ordered another one just because I have this one. So I do have some brushes that the barrels come apart, or the hairs kind of start to rise, as some of them are here. So just keep in mind, don't go into them expecting it to be like a MAC brush. Even MAC brushes shed, and eventually the barrels become loose. So keep that in mind, but you guys will enjoy these brushes. Definitely check them out. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you already know what to do. Leave your questions below and I will check them out. Spend some time in my description box to go absolutely everywhere. Snapchat, Instagram, and follow me at Shlinda1, and I will see you in the very next video. Remember, you are bold, you are beautiful, and most importantly, you are blessed. And I will see you guys in the very next video. Mwah. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.